Hi, everyone. I'm Patty Woods from the Lazarus Center for Career Development. And today I'm excited to be talking to you briefly about having informational interviews, otherwise known as career conversations. So informational interviews are a great way to learn about a career that interests you. And it's also a really useful tool for building your professional network. An informational interview or a career conversation is really an opportunity for you to ask a professional questions that you have about their path, their industry, or potential opportunities that are in their career that are connected to your skills, interests, values, or personality that you want to learn more of. So it's never appropriate to ask for a job or an internship during a career conversation, but it is always okay to be really curious about how your skills and interests match their profession and hear a little bit more about their suggestions and advice for helping you move forward in your personal pursuits. So, when preparing for an informational interview, you want to have some targeted questions that are specific to the individual you are interviewing with, informational interviewing with, and your own personal background. So there's no such thing as really great informational interview questions and bad ones. It's all really specific to what you're curious about. And informational interviews can happen in a variety of different places. They can happen at coffee shops, at the place of employment in someone's office. As you can imagine, these days it happens primarily over the phone or over Zoom. So when you go to reach out to someone, you could find that person through LinkedIn, through the Smith College alumni community or database, or it could just be someone that you know through a family member or a friend of a friend. When you connect with someone or reach out to someone for an informational interview, if they don't respond to you, that happens, but the people who do respond to you will be likely to be very happy to help you. Now, remember to prepare for your informational interview by thinking about what you want to ask that person you're connecting with, and try not to ask questions that could easily be found on the website of the company that they work with or on that person's social media, for example, their personal website or their LinkedIn. And also be prepared to talk a little bit about yourself, why you're reaching out to them, a little bit about your educational background or key experiences that you've had where you're wanting to learn more about how your key experiences, maybe that's a class or a club or an internship or a sport, and you have some questions about how that experience might connect in the long run to your profession and wanted to ask them about that. So there's not a right amount of questions to have prepared, but if you're having approximately a 45-minute conversation to an hour conversation, you want to have at least 8 questions prepared. You don't have to go through all of them. You can be really organic in your conversation. Sometimes professionals will be very busy and they'll only have about 20 minutes to a half an hour to speak to you, and you can get a lot out of that conversation, out of a short conversation. So don't forget, always thank the individual after you speak to them for their time. And to learn a little bit more about career conversations or informational interviews, please visit the Lazarus Center YouTube page. We have a short video on having career conversations. And of course, I would love to meet with you one-on-one, and you can schedule an appointment in Handshake to meet. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye, everybody.